name is Scott Edge, and this is my war story. I was raised in a family where drinking and other things were acceptable. I had a successful father that was an airplane pilot that drank quite a bit. So as I grew up, it was just an acceptable way of life as long as you did what you were supposed to do. Worked hard, you could play hard, and started drinking when I was about 12 years old. And I always noticed I drank more than anybody else, drank longer than anybody else, and got to a point where I drank till I passed out most every time I drank. I've used every drug that I know of except heroin at one time or another. Never was really addicted to any of them except alcohol. Alcohol caused the demise of my first marriage. Went on, cost me jobs and relationships. Got remarried, and again, alcohol began to take its toll on that relationship and all the material things I'd worked so hard to obtain. I guess I'd been married about 14 years when things really began to come apart. I went to a rehab in Mississippi. Ended up going twice. It was a 12-step program. It was not faith-based. You know, none of them worked really. None of them had what I needed, I guess. I would stay sober for maybe 4 or 5 months, and then I'd end up, whether it be because I was happy or sad or for one reason or another, I would drink and drug. I'd had a son by my first marriage, and I've had, now at this time I've had another boy and 2 girls by my second marriage, and I was in and out of jail approximately 22 times. My daughter had seen the police pull up multiple times in the driveway, and when she would see them, she knew Daddy was going to go to jail. Things just progressed until I was at a point where I didn't have a driver's license. I was still working, but I was drinking before, during, and after work, but still maintaining the job to pay the bills. And one evening on a Thursday, I came home, and there was a knock at the door, and the police gave me 10 minutes to get my stuff together and to leave the premises. I ended up with $6 in my pocket and nowhere to go, so I went to the Warrior Center to check it out. I didn't want to. I begged different people to pick me up or let me stay with them, but by this time my wife wouldn't let me come home. My mother wouldn't let me go to her house. I stayed at the Warrior Center and learned about God, learned about the Bible, got into the Word. I was the sole breadwinner in my household for 14 years, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm out of work, staying at the Warrior Center, and of course, the well-being of my kids were on my mind. Somehow, my kids didn't, they wanted for nothing. They always, you know, had clean clothes, new shoes, were fed. My wife had graduated from the University of Tennessee and it became a BSN, or a nurse, and she'll graduate the doctorate program on May 25th and be a doctor. When I had entered the Warrior Center program, my mindset, the devil had told me that my kids would be better off with another father, that the kind of father I was, being the drunk that I was, that you know, somebody else would be better. So I'd really given up and was just ready to let life go by and just be done with it, before God, you know, stepped in. And when I found God and realized that I could be the man that God wanted me to be. Of my 4 children, all 4 have been baptized. You know, they'll just sit down and be reading their Bible, and they love to praise and worship the Lord, and just, you know, having that kind of effect on someone's life, considering the opposite effect that I had for so many years. and so many people I hurt, and all the things that I did was, truly a miracle. And I became a counselor at the Warrior Center, where I could talk to other men like myself and let them know that God can heal anything, helping the men that haven't done anything that I haven't done, haven't been anywhere I haven't been, but for me to be able to tell them that they can go where I'm going. I would have to say that's the most important part.